me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Welcome to Greenlight Maine. I'm Julene Gervais. We started the college series a few years ago as a way of keeping top talent in Maine, and it's working. Students are inspiring, they have drive, and they never give up. Thomas College and Husson University put themselves on the map the first season, and they have brought their A game ever since. They will square off tonight. And our judges are very experienced, and they have been giving us some amazing feedback. Deb Mills-Schofield, tell us, what do you think about a perfect pitch, and what are you looking for in these students?
Perfect pitch to me says, what's the problem? Why is it a problem? Why are you the one to solve it? And why now?
How about you, Andrew Silsby?
Well, I would sort of agree with Deb, but a clearly articulated vision and then a well thought out plan on execution of that vision.
Awesome. And John Zeitler?
What I would say to people is, you don't have to have all the answers, but you need to show me an understanding of the challenges. You've educated yourself on what's out there, what the issues are, the landscape, so that when you approach the challenges, you'll know what you're up against and what you need to do.
All excellent advice. And I always say, what are you going to do with the cash? Ask for the money. All right, our first pitch is making shopping easier for all. His name is Derek Foy, and he's from Husson University with GEIONS Retail.
Hi, my name is Derek Foy, and what I'm presenting to you today is GEIONS Retail. GEIONS Retail is an innovative app that utilizes geomapping and 4D immersion to revolutionize how consumers shop in physical stores. This is especially important post-COVID-19 as we eliminate the hassles of shopping with our all-in-one app, including product alerts, comparison pricing, navigation to products in-store, pre-checkout, and more. GEIONS Retail ensures quick in-store transactions with minimal contact, increasing retailer revenue while enhancing the consumer experience. Our app has 6 complex steps that we've made simple. First, the customers use our patented search engine to find the desired product features, like a build-a-car search, but for any product. Second, from the desired product features, our algorithm finds highly correlated product options for the customer's selection. Third, after product selection, the customer is shown physical stores ranked by proximity and/or price via GPS integration. Fourth, after the store selection, the customer receives door-to-door navigation and the store is notified when the customer is en route to save time. Fifth, upon the store arrival, our algorithm, via store geomapping, navigates the customer directly to the aisle and shelf with the product. The 6th and final step is where the customer scans the product, which completes the purchase and provides a digital receipt so that the customer can exit the store without any lines. GEIONS Retail is innovative because no one in the industry uses this tech as an integrated solution. We have the patent, and Walmart's numbered aisle system is not automated, is store specific, doesn't compare pricing with other stores, and doesn't offer cash back, but we do. GEIONS Retail is feasible because the app is based on my experience as a manager at Staples and through Husson's collaboration with the retail market search engine patent holder. GEIONS Retail is scalable because we have the ability to partner with an app like Instacart and provide them with a technology that would not only help their business, but be a lucrative partnership for us as well. They have a useful platform for COVID-19, and by merging our technology with theirs, it allows for greater revenue to be generated for our company and the companies that we partner with. GEIONS Retail is needed more than ever now because reducing the spread of COVID-19 requires minimizing contact with services and people. With our app, customers receive an almost touch-free shopping experience, and retailers receive increased traffic with less cleaning. GEIONS Retail impacts Maine because by partnering with Maine stores, we are able to push business to the stores and generate tax revenue for the state through our app and through the increase in shopping in stores in Maine. If GEIONS were to win the competition, the $10,000 will be put to prototyping, hiring software engineers, and going door to door to retailers to solicit relationships, starting with my past employers. GEIONS Retail is in its beginning stages, and that $10,000 that we could win would boost the jump from beginning stages to developmental stages and start on the journey that is GEIONS Retail. Thank you.
Touch-free shopping, perfect timing, Derek. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, Deb, kick us off with the questions.
Derek, great presentation. Can you tell us a bit about the patent, who owns it, fees, licenses, whatever?
Yeah, so the patent is through Fran Barbaro. She's working in partnership with Hassan, where I go to school, in a collaboration with Brian Walton, who was my advisor. So we're working with them directly. So she has all the patents, and I'm more of the idea kind of guy. So using her patents to make something from it.
Cool, thanks.
Andrew, you're up.
Great, Derek. Nice job on the presentation. What I really want to know is, how do you envision your product to generate revenue?
So I think the best way that we can go about it is going through kind of an ad-based revenue, kind of working how Google does with the preferred searches, while also keeping it free to the consumer, and making the most of our money by advertising and allowing people and businesses to utilize our app in many ways, including on their own back end, not just for the consumer themselves.
Yeah, very interesting stuff, and I think ambitious in a good way. I guess the sort of difficult side of that is you're talking about pulling together a lot of stuff here, right? There are a bunch of steps. Can you talk us through a little bit more about have you thought through process around how you do all that stuff and how you pull it all together?
Yeah, absolutely. So it obviously is going to be a massive process, and a lot of obviously we look at just one store could have thousands upon thousands of different SKUs and where they're placed and everything like that. So the main part is when we go, and hopefully when we start the real process of it, we want to start from the ground up, really develop the app, and then we'll start going, like I said in my pitch, going door to door, going to like Staples, going to smaller chains, and trying to really start the process, getting a lot of people involved. Crowdsourcing is a really good option. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Gas Buddy, but when you go to a gas station, they allow you to say yes or no for if the price is right. So kind of working kind of like that, and using our users to help us make the app better.
Deb, we have time for one quick question.
Why Maine?
I grew up in Maine. I'm from Lewiston. Went to school in Bangor, obviously at Hassan. And I just really want to develop things in Maine. I think there's a bunch of hidden talent in there. And so I really want it to succeed and want to do well with it.
And you have a background already in retail at Staples.
Yes, that's correct. I work at Staples right now, and that's kind of why the retail app was the bigger thing for me with that patent, because I figured that what better way to do it, and then in a field that I know pretty well.
No doubt. You definitely have experience. You definitely see the need for this, and we certainly wish you all the best. So thanks for coming back again this season, and we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and come right back with our next pitch, so don't go away.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, if you want to innovate and if you want to grow, if you're an organization here in Maine, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
Eaton Peabody, a Maine-based law firm serving generations of Maine businesses and families from offices in Augusta, Bangor, Brunswick, Ellsworth, and Portland.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine College Series. Maine has an awesome snowmobile system. It's called ITS, and our next company will help guide your path. Let's watch Jake Warren from Thomas College with Sled Tracks.
Hey Greenlight Maine, my name is Jake Warren and I'm a Thomas student here in Waterville, and I'm studying to be a small business entrepreneur major. And I'm the owner of Sled Tracks, a new snowmobile navigational system combining all trails, restaurants, lodges, and gas stations. I've been a long time rider myself, and I always found it hard to find accurate and updated trail information. This is because the vast majority of the maps are still on paper, and the trails change each year, making maps hard to find and trips taking a while to plan. I can still remember taking a full afternoon just to plan and get all this information, even for a day trip. Snowmobiling is one of the biggest contributors to Maine's economy, generating over $600 million last year, which is right up there with the lobster industry. This is because Maine is a real hotspot for riders all across New England. Last year, 85,000 riders registered snowmobiles within the state of Maine, 25,000 of which came from out of state. And Sled Track's market is focusing riders all within the state, but primarily focusing on group and family riders. This is because those groups typically plan trips each weekend, going out and exploring new areas and checking out restaurants and lodges. And snowmobilers have really needed a service like this, and it's been proven through the money we've been generating and the support we've been getting. Sled Tracks is generating income through advertisements by local businesses. So riders get to access this free of charge. We charge $75 an ad, and since October, I've generated over $1,500 in sales. And I'm on course to generate $3,000 by the end of this year. I also plan to incorporate a few affiliate marketing brands just to kind of bring some additional funds. To expand and grow, Sled Tracks is looking to branch out into neighboring states like New Hampshire, Vermont, and even upstate New York. We are also looking to connect with more businesses as we are an advertising-based product. If you know any who might have any interest in connecting, don't hesitate to reach out. My email is jakewarren@sledtracks.com. I wanted to say I appreciate you guys having me on today. Thanks.
You said it, Jake. $600 million business, huge for Maine's economy. A great idea. Nice job.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I think riders will really start to love this product, and I'm really hoping that they'll enjoy it this season.
Awesome. Deb, kick us off.
Great idea. Great pitch. So, Jake, have you had a chance to see what other folks are doing, like out on the West or up in the Rockies, and what's kind of worked or not worked there that can kind of help you make different mistakes?
Yeah, absolutely. So the West is a little different. They do mostly backcountry riding, and unlike Maine, we kind of fight to have trail space on private land. Compared to out West, where they have a lot of public land that they're allowed to ride on. So their situation's a little different, but I have been paying attention to states like Wisconsin, Michigan, some of those more northern states, as they have a similar kind of snowmobile industry to Maine. And so I've been focusing on areas like that, absolutely.
Andrew.
Jake, great presentation. I have suffered from this very issue myself, riding my own snowmobile here in Maine. And my real question is, how are you going to digitize these paper maps? Because what you have described is a real problem. And how are you going to take that to the next level?
Yeah, the map has definitely been a bigger project than I thought initially with the idea, but it's really just been compiling as many maps as I can from different resources. Some regions, like the Katahdin region, kind of has a general map of the whole kind of area there. So I'll try and find regional maps like that to kind of help me out, so I'm not individually finding each club and hopefully getting their club trail maps. But that's another thing that I've been looking to do. I've been connecting with a lot of clubs, as they provide a lot of important information just about local insight, but also accurate trail information. So I'm going to be looking to tie connections with them for accurate trail information.
John.
Yeah, good stuff, Jake. I love the idea of providing some leverage to an existing significant industry and building on it. It seems like a great idea. As a total snowmobile novice, if I had something like this, I think I actually would try it. It'd be easier to do. My question is there a competition out there in the way of some more general mapping service providers? Is this information anywhere else? Like in Acadia National Park, there are a bunch of sites I can pull up to look at trails, right? Is there not that for snowmobiles?
Not with the business model I have. My business model allows riders to access this free of charge. There is 2 other systems that are doing kind of a general mapping system like mine. Similar concepts, but again, different kind of mapping or business plan where they charge the rider instead of having them free of access. But I think that's where I think I'll be able to capitalize a little bit. Riders don't want to have to pay to get trail information across all different areas. So I think this could be definitely very beneficial for the state. So.
Definitely very beneficial. And I mean, I can think of a handful of people that I know that are just dying to use this. So great job.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me on. This has been pretty cool. I've been a big fan of Greenlight Maine. So this is a cool opportunity for me.
Perfect. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, our judges are going to talk this out. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Running a small business here in Maine is personal. At Kennebec Savings Bank, you'll work with local people who are just as invested in your success as you are. Every one of us. Experience the difference at Kennebec Savings Bank today.
ARB's advisors are providing savvy solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, closely held businesses, and organizations that operate internationally. And we're doing it the way you'd want Mainers to, guided by our local, sensible values.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back to the Greenlight Maine College Edition. It's the moment we've been waiting for. Folks at home want to know what you judges think. So kick us off, Deb.
Wow. Well, two very, very different entities, ventures. And, I must say that I think the sled tracks just has an enormous upside on so many levels for the state, for consumers, and just seems like there's an awful lot of potential there. Not that there aren't issues he's got to deal with, like getting access to the maps and getting them downloaded, as well as being able to save them when you're traveling because you're out in the middle of nowhere. And Angie, you brought up something we all know, which is you probably won't have cell service. So I think there's just a lot there. I have some concerns about GEIONS. It's not yet up and running. And I think there's some COVID behavior that's definitely going to want us to stay touchless. But I still think a lot of it's going to be, I want to go in the store, I want to look around, or I'm going to do curbside or Instacart or something like that. So, I really think right now Sled Tracks has a greater path.
Well, I think GEIONS has got a really good idea. It's a big idea, but it's a big lift to try to get some of these large retailers to play in the sandbox with them, and the conflict between the larger retailers and the smaller retailers. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I think this is a big lift, certainly. Sled Tracks, to me, is a very narrow challenge here in the state of Maine, but he has pinpointed what the issue is. And I definitely think he's on to a challenge that needs to be solved, and seems to have a pretty good business model.
Absolutely. Yeah, they both have challenges that need to be solved. John.
Yeah, interesting. I work on both the business and legal sides of my companies in general. And so my ears perk up when I hear the word patent, and because, if you can leverage that, often if it's really good stuff, that's a big advantage. So someone is going to figure out, it sounds like, how to leverage that patent that is sitting there at Husson. I do agree with the other judges, though, that there's a lot of challenges and maybe not quite enough focus yet. But if he can put all those pieces together, there's a big upside, and that patent would be a competitive advantage, it sounds like. Sled Tracks, I love the idea that it's leveraging a really big current Maine industry and trying to build off of that. I'm kind of amazed that there's not more out there from what I've heard over the last few minutes on this. And you could also feel his enthusiasm. Really love seeing that. He's definitely someone that's passionate. Makes me feel like there's a passionate community out there to leverage with this too.
Real quick, if one or other would make it to the finals, what would you like to see from them? Deb.
I would like So for GEIONS, I would like to see how they plan on getting these big chains to hand over their planograms to them. And then for Sled tracks, I'd like to see a way he could get a model where the clubs are going to want to play with him.
Andrew.
Well, I think we've got a tough choice here, definitely. I'm really torn between both of them.
And John.
Yeah, I would love to see GEIONS talk more detail about step-by-step how they actually do this, because there are a lot of challenges there. Sled tracks, I think, next level of thinking on the product, just to show how it looks and how you really get there.
Great feedback from you all. We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
How do I know who my target audience really is? This is a question I get asked all the time, and it's an important one. Here are the 5 steps to defining your target audience. First, deeply understand the customer problems that you solve. Next, look at your current customer base. Who buys the most? Any common themes? Look at your competition. Where do you have an edge? And look at your product and service. How can you uniquely help your customers? Specifically describe your audience, their age, income, geography, and more. When you get this specific, it's easier to speak in their language, and you'll see increased results.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. As part of our college series, we're visiting with some of the leaders across campuses throughout our state. And today I'd like to welcome Lisa Noble, who is the Director of Employer Engagement and Entrepreneurship at Colby College. Hi, Lisa. It's so good to see you.
Hi, Julian. Thank you so much for having me today.
Tell us a little bit about your role at Colby College. I know you wear many hats and do a lot of different things.
Sure thing. So my primary role is as head of employer engagement is to cultivate relationships with employers of different across all industries. I spend a lot of time looking at emerging industries and emerging roles and thinking about who we want to partner with, both to create opportunities for our students in the form of employment, but also experiences as well. And we partner with them for things like hackathons, data fests and other things as well. So trying to create new experiences for our students to learn about the world of employment and hopefully to showcase their own talents so that they might be hired by some of these stellar employers as well.
Excellent. There have been a lot of positives that have come from this pandemic at Colby College. Please share with us.
Sure. So while it forced us all to scramble, one of the nice things is that we've had to become much more agile, much more innovative in the way we deliver education and experiences. And so while it's true we had to scuttle our plans for our annual pitch competition, which we have every spring, that was disappointing. We had many teams that were ready to go, prepared and excited. We ended up building a summer venture accelerator, which turned out to be an incredible experience and involved lots of young alums to offer mentorship or to lead weekly courses in entrepreneurship training. And as a consequence, we ended up creating an accelerator that ended on a demo day. We had many more eyeballs. We had lots of folks within the community and without attending, and produced 7 teams that were fit to go into the Greenlight Maine competition this fall.
Excellent. And that will be happening again this summer?
That's right. We have funding this time around, which is exciting. So it won't be so shoestring and effort. We'll be a little bit more intentional about how we design it. And we've invited some pretty stellar guests to be speakers and to be mentors and to move folks through. It was a great opportunity for our first year students and sophomores in particular, whose internships were kind of clawed back, and we scheduled it for the evening. So if they needed to take a day job, they could do that too.
Excellent. How about some advice for our student entrepreneurs on the show?
Of course. Well, I would say participating in these pitch competitions actually sets you up for downstream success, getting a chance to tell your story to judges and accepting feedback and learning to pivot based on that feedback is a really great exercise. To me, you almost never get anything 100% right in the first go. So listen carefully and adapt your response to those things.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here. It is so good to see you, and please come back and see us again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
Have a great day.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and hear from our underwriters, but when we come back, we're going to have today's winner, so don't go anywhere.
For over 25 years, Kennebec Savings Bank has hired 10% of its workforce through our college internship program. Many of those early college interns are in leadership positions at the bank today. Experience the difference at the bank that invests in its future.
Through their efforts to support Maine entrepreneurs who are growing our economy, Greenlight Maine is making our state a better place to start and operate a business. For these efforts and the creation of a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem, the Harold Alfond Institute for Business Innovation at Thomas College is proud to be a sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine College Edition. Thomas College and Hudson University did it again. They showed up big time with 2 wonderful apps, and it's time to find out who is moving on in the competition. Judges, I'm going to count you down from 3. 3, 2, 1. And that means Sled TRX is today's winner and is advancing to the next round of competition. Congratulations, Jake. I am so happy for you. What do you think of Greenlight Maine now?
I'm extremely excited. I really appreciate you guys taking this opportunity to hear me out, hear the idea. I'm excited that there's been some energy behind Sled TRX, so I really appreciate that. Yeah, and just thank you for having me on. This is great.
That's it for us. We'll be back next week with 2 more outstanding companies. In the meantime, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we have a bunch of resources on our website, plus all of our episodes. So you can go to greenlightmaine.com for those. Have a great evening. Good night.